I think one thing for sure, from my standpoint, if these immigrant communities are going to be here and people are living in our city, we want to make sure that they have a quality of life that is up to a certain standard. They're part of our community. What happens to them is going to impact our entire community. We want to make sure that they have opportunities at jobs. Make sure that they have opportunities at educating their children. All these things will help not only strengthen their communities and their families, but help us strengthen our neighborhoods as well. They will be more able to adjust to the differences, to the new environment, to the new city that they're in. If you try to isolate them, if you tell them that they're not welcome, if you treat them as foreigners, if you treat them as somebody different and strange, it will not be good for the city. Certainly won't be good for their families and community, and it would not bode well for our region and our community. As I said, we want to try to be welcoming, accepting, and deal with, and there's always issues. You know, there's issues of that arise all the time, and the differences of cultures, but in the end, if they can get good jobs and their kids can get educated and they're paying taxes and being part of our community, that's the kind of vibrancy that we want. A diverse community that will grow, be stronger, and be able to compete better globally in this global economy. We have something that is a public-private effort, partnership to make sure that we have an open door to new immigrants coming into St. Louis. It's called the International Institute. This is headed up by Anna Crossland, who's the executive director, and they run all kinds of programs. They help with language, they help with various logistical things, housing, trying to make sure people can have access to proper advice in terms of issues they may have with their immigration papers and paperwork. It is a very important resource that is supported by federal, state, and local funding, and United Way also supports this agency. So it's a tremendous resource, and if they can't help them there, they figure out a way to bring somebody to the table that can, and that's an organization that we support and we've worked with a lot. It is an investment in people and in our future, and whatever it is. And we want to make sure that what programs we have, what services we have, they're available to new immigrants, people who have just come to our city. And of course, we do support organizations, as I said, like the International Institute, that does do special things to help make sure that they'll be better off to succeed in a new environment in a new country. One of the things that I've noticed, though, is that the border states, there's a lot more volatility there in terms of people's reaction to immigration. I do think that overall there needs to be a federal policy, a federal approach to that issue. Illegal immigrants, people who are coming into this country undocumented. It needs to be federal. And I also think that, but I also believe very strongly that we should not take people who are already here and throw them in jail or throw them all out of the country. I don't think, first of all, I don't think it's possible. I don't think we have the resources to do it. But secondly, I don't think it's the humane thing to do. I think there should be a reasonable path for these individuals to citizenship. But I do believe that the best way to approach that is from the federal level. So my approach, and I think civil discourse, discussion, and policy discussions need to be undertaken, that I haven't seen happen enough. There's not enough of that going on. So I believe that ought to happen, and right now here we're enjoying the new citizens and new residents of St. Louis, and we look at them as an important part of our future.